When someone slips after a long period of sobriety, one of the first things they often say is, I have to start over. And I understand why it feels that way. Because when you are counting days, weeks, months, or years, a relapse can feel like someone erased the whole number. It can feel like everything you worked for disappeared. It can feel like all the pride, all the discipline, all the hard days, all the times you said no, all the times you cried and still stayed sober, somehow stopped counting. But I do not believe that is true. I do not believe sobriety works that way. If you were sober for 14 months and then you got high for a few days, those 14 months did not vanish. You still lived those 14 months. You still made those choices. You still built that life. You still woke up on hard mornings and kept going. You still had cravings and got through them. You still repaired parts of yourself. You still showed yourself what you were capable of. You still learned things about your triggers, your pain, your habits, your relationships, your environment, and your own strength. That does not disappear because of a slip. A relapse can have consequences. It can be serious, it can hurt, it can scare you. It can remind you that recovery needs attention and support, but it does not erase the person you were becoming. It does not erase the progress you made. It does not erase the life you built while you were sober. Think about it in real life terms. If someone was sober for 14 months and during that time they got a job, bought a car, started school, rebuilt trust with family, became more present for their children, paid off debt, went to therapy, learned how to sleep without using, learned how to sit with feelings, or simply learned how to survive a bad day without going back to old habits, how could anyone say that time was lost? It was not lost. It was earned. It was real. If you built a house for 14 months and then one window broke, you would not say the whole house is gone. You would say something happened. Something needs repair. I need to figure out how the window broke, fix it, and protect the house better next time. Recovery is like that too. A slip is not the same as losing everything. It is a signal. It tells you something needs care. Maybe the stress got too heavy. Maybe isolation crept in. Maybe you stopped reaching out. Maybe you were around the wrong people. Maybe you started telling yourself, I can handle it this time. Maybe pain came up that you did not know how to carry. Maybe you were exhausted. Maybe life changed too quickly. Maybe you were doing well on the outside, but inside you were still hurting. That does not mean you are hopeless. It means something needs attention. And that is where the language of starting over can be so discouraging. Because starting over sounds like you are back at the very beginning. It sounds like you learned nothing. It sounds like the last 14 months were fake. It sounds like you are the same person you were before recovery began. But you are not. You are not the same person. You may feel ashamed right now. You may feel disappointed. You may feel afraid. You may feel like you let yourself down, but you are not the same person you were on day one. You know more now. You have more proof now. You have evidence that you can be sober. You have evidence that you can build a life. You have evidence that you can go through ordinary days and hard days without using. You have evidence that change is possible for you. That is not nothing. That is everything. Maybe instead of saying, I am starting over, we need to say, I am continuing. I am continuing my recovery. I am continuing what I started. I'm continuing with more honesty. I'm continuing with more awareness. I'm continuing with a better understanding of what can pull me back. I am continuing because this slip does not get to define. That shift is important because shame is dangerous in recovery. Shame tells people, you already ruined it, so why try? Shame tells people you failed, so you might as well keep going. Shame tells people everyone will judge you, so hide. Shame tells people you are not worth saving. And shame can turn a slip into a spiral. That is why the way we talk to ourselves after relapse is not a small thing. It can be the difference between getting back up quickly and staying stuck for weeks, months, or years. Accountability is important, but shame is not the same as accountability. Accountability says, this happened. I need to be honest. I need to look at what led up to it. I need support. I need to make changes. Shame says, I am disgusting. I ruined everything. I am back to zero. I am a failure. Those are not the same. One helps you recover. The other keeps you trapped. If you slipped, You do not need to pretend it was no big deal. You do not need to minimize it. You do not need to act like it did not hurt you or scare the people who love you. But you also do not need to turn it into a life sentence against yourself. You can be honest without destroying yourself. You can say, I relapsed and I need to take this seriously. You can also say, I did not lose everything I built. Both can be true. You can regret what happened and still respect the progress you made. You can feel disappointed and still believe in your future. You can have a bad chapter without throwing away the whole book. And sometimes that is what recovery really is. Not perfection, not never struggling, not never being tempted, not never falling, but learning how to come back faster, learning how to tell the truth sooner, learning how to ask for help before the pain becomes too heavy, learning how to see the warning signs, learning how to protect the life you worked so hard to build. If someone was sober for 14 months, that means they know how to live sober. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not without support, maybe not without hard days. But they know something now that they did not know before. They know it can be done. They know what it feels like to wake up clear. They know what it feels like to make progress. They know what it feels like to be trusted again. They know what it feels like to make plans and actually follow through. They know what it feels like to be proud of themselves. And that memory can become a reason to keep going, not a reason to give up. Because the goal is not just to protect a number. The goal is to protect a life. The number can be meaningful. For many people, counting sober time is motivating. It gives structure. It gives pride. It gives something to celebrate. But the number is not the whole story. The number does not show every moment you chose differently. The number does not show the job you kept. The number does not show the car you bought. The number does not show the school you started. The number does not show the relationships you repaired. The number does not show the mornings you got out of bed when depression was heavy. The number does not show the times you wanted to use and did not. The number does not show the person you became. So if the number resets, the person does not. The lessons do not. The growth does not. The strength does not. The life experience does not. You are not back where you started. You are further along with a painful reminder that recovery still needs protection. And honestly, many people in recovery have a moment like this. A slip, a relapse, a period where things got messy again. It does not mean they were never serious. It does not mean they were lying. It does not mean they cannot recover. It means they are human, and addiction is powerful, and recovery has to be guarded. The important question is not, how do I punish myself enough for this? The important question is, what do I need to do next? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to go to a meeting? Do I need to block a number? Do I need to stop hanging out in a certain place? Do I need to tell the truth to someone safe? Do I need to get professional help? Do I need to look at what I was feeling before I used? Do I need to change my routine? Do I need to stop pretending I can be around certain people or certain situations? Do I need more support than I wanted to admit? Those are useful questions. Those questions can save a person. But how could I ruin everything usually does not help. Because you did not ruin everything. You had a setback, a serious one maybe, a painful one maybe. But a setback is not the same as the end. There is a difference between falling down on the path and being back at the beginning of the path. If you are walking up a mountain and you slip, you do not magically return to the bottom. You are still on the mountain. You may be bruised. You may need to pause. You may need someone to help you stand. You may need to change your shoes, check the weather, or stop walking so close to the edge. But you are not at the bottom unless you decide to walk all the way back down. So do not let shame convince you to go backward. Stand where you are. Look at what happened. Tell the truth. Get support. And keep moving. Because the 14 months still count. The sober birthdays still count. The quiet victories still count. The job still counts. The car still counts. The school still counts. The repaired relationships still count. The stronger mind still counts. The healing still counts. The fact that you are still here, still trying, still wanting better, still reaching for sobriety again, that counts too. You are not starting from nothing. You are continuing from experience, and experience is powerful. You know more now. You have proof now. You have history with sobriety now. You have already shown yourself that you can change. So the next right step is not to drown in guilt. The next right step is to come back to yourself. Drink water, sleep, eat something, call someone safe, be honest, remove yourself from the people, places, or routines that pulled you back. Make a plan for the next hour, then the next day, then the next week. Do not try to solve your whole life in one night. Just choose recovery again. Not because you are perfect, not because you never slipped, but because the life you were building is still worth protecting. And so are you. If this message reached you at the right time, please hear this clearly. A relapse does not erase your recovery. A slip does not erase your progress. A hard week does not erase 14 months of courage. You are not back to who you were. You are someone who learned, fell, survived, and can keep going. So do not call it starting over if that makes you feel hopeless. Call it continuing. Call it returning. Call it choosing yourself again. Because you are not the mistake. You are the person who still has a chance to come back from it. And that chance begins now. If this video helped you, please like it so it can reach more people who may be feeling ashamed after a setback. And subscribe for more honest conversations about recovery, mental health, healing, and finding your way back to yourself.